Welcome back to yet another adventure, y'all. Today's adventure is all about chips, and guess what? More chips. So, long story short, there's a convenience store really close to my apartment, and I went over there one day and saw this massive display of chips. Now, these weren't any, regular chips. The flavors ranged from meat flavored to seafood flavored, and I'm sure you guys have seen there is no shortage of videos on the internet of people trying different flavored chips, internationally flavored chips. But for those of you who aren't from the US, it's not every day that you walk into a convenience store and you see these flavors. So when I saw it, I said, you know what? I gotta take advantage of this opportunity and I'm making this video. So with that said, let us commence. All right, so I think it's gonna be easier if we kind of organize these a little bit. So probably do this, kind of put these over here. Throw these ones over there. Okay, so I organized them by types of meat. So over here we have red meat, white meat over to this side, seafood, and one, honestly, I had no idea what kind of meat it was. So we're just gonna call that one mystery meat. What we're gonna do today is try every single type of chip here, and we're gonna rate it on a scale from 1 to 10, starting with the white meat. And I guess one thing to mention too is that all these are like the big brand names. We got Doritos over here. I think we have Lay's. I don't think we have many more brands. And see Cheetos. And one important thing to point out is that this is not a paid sponsorship. I bought all these. I'm gonna give my honest opinions. So, with that said, let us commence. This is the Szechuan peppercorn chicken flavored. Honestly, I thought it was a turkey before looking at it, but apparently it is a chicken. Oh wow, look at this. So this is from Taiwan, actually. All right, let's get started. Jesus Christ, this thing is hard to open. All right, at last we have gotten the bag open. Let's see. It doesn't really smell like chicken at all. It smells kind of just like spice, as we can see. It's just a regular Dorito. It tastes a little more spicy. It has a little bit of a kick to it, but it's actually not, it doesn't have this like intense chicken flavoring, almost like if you guys have ever had like instant noodles and any sort of like flavoring like that, it's not as strong per se, but it's a little something there. You taste more of the chip than anything, I would say. Let's see. Oh well, doing that, I don't know about you guys, but doing that reminded me of in the schools, at least here in the US, kids, for some reason it's always like Doritos, especially. It's never any other chip, but they have those, and before snack time they open up their bags and they go and they start eating their Doritos. They got little Dorito fingers and it's all over all their stuff and licking their fingers like that. But anyways, that just brought me back. But overall, good chip. I'd give it about a 7. Okay, up next we have another Doritos, but this one is American Hot Wings, and this one is also from Taiwan. This is gonna be interesting to see Taiwan's take on American Hot Wings. Also, I'm a huge fan of this thing. The lightning bolt looks strong, it looks powerful. Taiwan is serious about keeping people out of these bags. Okay, let's do a quick smell test. It doesn't really smell like your traditional hot wings. And, oh no way. Check this out. Even the chip comes in the shape of a lightning bolt. That's wild. Look at it. They match perfectly. Alright, taste test. This one's good. So, you know what? This one tastes really just like the normal Doritos nacho cheese. Unfortunately, not at all like a hot wing. But, still, I mean, good. I would give this one a solid 7. Okay, up next, and our last one from the white meat section is the Lay's. And this looks like teriyaki chicken. And also, I just want to point out, look at the artwork on this thing. This is really cool. I've never seen like such a detail. Oh, wow. It has even like the water, the mountain, the little fish there. That is impressive. Honestly, good job. Lay's Taiwan, good job on the artwork. Let's see how the chip is, though. They're very, very adamant about keeping people out of these bags. Oh, wow, this thing actually smells like teriyaki. Good job, Lays. It's an interesting smell. It's not deep, but it's enough to where you recognize it. They did a great job with this. You can definitely taste the teriyaki sauce. It's sweet, it's tangy. Now, you can't taste the chicken. I couldn't even imagine trying to make that flavor profile, all three of those, and making it hit the same as the real thing. I mean, that's their next challenge. But for now, I would say they nailed it. It also has kind of a hint of barbecue sauce to it, but it's different enough to where, I mean, you recognize if you've ever had teriyaki chicken that this is teriyaki. So I say, great job. I give it a 9. All right, up next we have the red meat, and this is gonna be the short rib. Let's try this one from Lay's. All right, let's try it. This one isn't bad. So this one tastes kind of like your average everyday barbecue chip, but it's very light. You taste more of the chip than you do the actual flavoring. There's a hint of onion in there too, but unfortunately, it tastes nothing like the promised short ribs. Nice try, but I think teriyaki is their thing. For this one, I'd give it a 5 out of 10. All right, off to the next one. Okay, up next, another Lay's brand. Look at this thing though, look at the presentation. This is probably the fanciest chip bag I've ever seen. Wow, I am excited to see if it actually tastes like this steak featured here, and they've got the butter, wow. It's not bad, but I will say, it tastes nothing like meat. Nothing like the steak featured on this bag. No hint of butter. No sizzling, juicy, meaty taste. Not at all. I would say, at best, this kind of tastes like the powder that comes with the instant noodles. A very light version of that. Or better yet, onion powder. It kind of gives me that flavor. But to say this is steak flavored, no, definitely not. I'd have to give this one a 6 out of 10. All right, up next we have another Doritos brand, but look at this. This is taco flavored. And what is this here? Tokyo Disney Resort. Unfortunately, I can't read Japanese, but looks like we have won maybe 10,500 of something. I don't know if there's a point system or something. Now, I have tried quite a few tacos in my lifetime, and I gotta tell you, the standards are high right now. This, I don't know. We'll see. Oh wow. Okay, so this one smells like just normal taco seasoning. Let's give it a try. Wow. This thing is crunchy. I think this is like crunchier than the normal Doritos, but taste-wise, wow. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of not only the taco seasoning, but also Lunchables. So real quick, here in the US, with these things called Lunchables, lunches for children, and one of them was a nacho one. They had the cheese, they had salsa, so you dip the chip in each of those, and when you would eat them together, this is exactly what that tastes like. I would say, overall, it falls very short from tasting like a taco. I mean, not even the slightest, not even the same type of food. But it's not bad, I would say. Overall, you know, I give it a 6 out of 10. All right, up next we have yet another steak one. But this one is from Cheetos. All right, let's check it out. This one is from Japan, by the way. What do we have here? Oh, wow, okay. Normally the Cheetos are orange, yellow, and this one's kind of brown. I'm assuming that's the steak flavoring. Let's give it a try. It's not terrible, but it's not great. It tastes nothing like steak. It's very sweet. It, again, kind of tastes like the artificial powdered flavoring for the instant noodles. Misses the mark completely. I would have to give it a solid 4 out of 10. On that note, I'm starting to see the pattern here. I really don't think that the steak flavor, at least, is for these companies. Not one of them have hit it yet. All right, on to our next one. Another Cheetos brand, and look at this thing. We have it looks like steak with cheese, and it's apparently crunchy. Let's check it out. I'm excited for this one. Cheetos, please don't let me down again. All right, let's give it a quick smell test. Wow. Okay, that thing is really cheesy smelling. There is no scent of meat, not even the slightest. Let's give it a taste test. I will say, this definitely isn't my favorite. It's all cheese. For those of you who like cheese, I mean, you'd probably love this, but absolutely no taste of meat. It's incredibly cheesy. That's all you taste. I have to give it 3 out of 10. All right, so that concludes our red meat section. Now it's off to our mystery meat. Our mystery meat from China. Maybe this is duck. I'm not quite sure. Please let me know. But another thing I want to point out, look at the artwork on this thing. I don't think I've ever seen such a detailed bag. I mean, this is nothing short of incredible. Like, I almost don't want to open it because I'm like, it's such a masterpiece. But we gotta try the chips. That's what we're here to do. So let's see what we have here. Oh, wow. Okay. This is a big chip for Lay's, and it's kind of like it has the texture, kind of like the Ruffles chip. A little different. Let's give it a try. Okay, so this one has to be my least favorite out of all the chips we've tried. When you smell it and taste it, it just has this smell of, it's kind of like uncooked meat. What I think Lay's tried to do here is, I think now we're finding out that the mystery meat is potentially raw meat. I think they've tried to imitate that, and I don't know whether they succeeded or failed, unfortunately, but either way, it's not the best flavor in the world. It's very artificial tasting. Again, it's, when you smell it, it's the smell of just uncooked meat. I have to give it a 3 out of 10. All right, now I said I was gonna organize things just by meat, but I snuck this one in here as well. This is a really hot one. I saw it, I couldn't resist. We're gonna try this chip from Thailand. I wonder if we're gonna get a nice Thai chili. Wow, okay, so this thing, this is up there with the hotter chips. I'm starting to feel a little hot just after eating that thing. Jesus, I mean, that one packs a kick to it. I put this higher than if you've ever had, for example, the hot Cheetos or anything like that. Put this at a level higher, so if you like that kind of stuff, I'm sure you'd love it, but this one is definitely, I mean, 8 out of 10. They killed it on the spice. It's a good tasting chip. Great job. All right, my friends, on to our last section. We are at the seafood, and we're gonna try the Doritos crawfish flavored. I'm excited for this one. I've never had a seafood flavored chip before. We'll see how this goes. Wow. Just at the instant opening of that thing, you're just met with this intense smell of seafood, of the ocean. I mean, this thing, I'm excited to try this thing. Oh my God. At least as far as the smell goes, they've already nailed it in my opinion. So, normal Dorito chip. Let's give it a try. Oh my God. Yeah, no. This is great. It's taste-wise, I will say, it tastes like what you would expect. If you like seafood, then, it's great. If not so much, then you might not like it. But overall, I mean, they did a great job with the flavors. I wouldn't quite say necessarily that it tastes like crawfish, but it tastes kind of like a mixed seafood platter almost. I'd have to put it around that sphere. And I guess another thing to add is it's not overpowering. Actually talking about it now, as I swallow, so after I swallow, you have this aftertaste, and that's where the crawfish hits, which is actually really interesting when you think about it. I would say flavor, we're gonna have to split this into two. Flavor wise, probably 5 out of 10, 4 out of 10. But for being able to actually imitate seafood flavor, 8 out of 10. All right, up next we have scallop flavored. This is by Lay's Thailand. All right. Oh wow, this is a big one. And just to let y'all know, they don't all look like this, unfortunately, but we got lucky on this one. Let's see. Doesn't really have a flavor to it. They didn't do a bad job. This one, It tastes like a scallop, but a very light taste. It's not like the previous chip we just tried, the crawfish. That one was a lot more intense, had that aftertaste, but this one it's not really much of anything. It's very light, faint, 4 out of 10. All right, y'all, we have made it to our last bag of chips. This one is shrimp and some sort of sauce, and it's kind of cool actually on the back. You have like this like QR code. I'm actually not sure what happens if you scan it, but something to check out. All right, let's see. It doesn't really smell like anything at first. The flavor profile is really interesting. So you have like this shrimp, but then it changes to lime. So it's an intense shrimp flavor. And like halfway through, right before you swallow, it just changes to lime. And you just get that existing lime flavor. And after that, the shrimp kind of creeps its way back. It's a really interesting flavor profile. Not the best chip in the world. I would give it a 5 out of 10. Alright y'all, so now the time has come. Which one was my favorite chip out of all the ratings? And it came down to these two. So, and let me tell you why real quick. I really liked the spice in this. I felt like it was everything that was promised. But this one also, although it wasn't my favorite flavor in the world, I thought they did an incredible job just from like an imitation standpoint. I was mind blown from the minute I opened the bag. At the end of the day though, if we're just going on taste, which we had said earlier, I gotta give it to this one. This one was everything. The spice, the good taste. Obviously they had the nice crunchy chip. This is the winner, our Lay's from Thailand, the chili flavored chip. Alright y'all, that concludes our video for today. I hope you enjoyed our journey trying all the different types of Asian chips. If I made any mistakes, or if you guys just want to see me do more videos like this, please let me know down in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe. I hope you all enjoyed. Till our next adventure, peace!